Hey guys, my name's Nutter Alex, and I'm here to talk about the game Conqueror's Blade. I've been enjoying the game. I've been playing it for about a month. I'm about level 100. I have a few of the mid-tier troops leveled up pretty high, so I've got to experiment with those. And I think this kind of experience is important when doing a review about a game. And with this video, I'm going to split it up into kind of different parts. This is the intro right now. I'm going to talk about the game, just um, the genre, the devs, what the game is like, if you would like it or not. And then the second part is going to be a bias review. So this is going to be my personal opinion about the game. This part is going to be very positive because I am actually enjoying this game and I can see myself playing it for maybe even a year. We'll see. And then we'll kind of do a non-biased review. This will be mostly negative because, like I said, the bias review will be mostly pros. So I'm going to step away from that and talk about the things that are bothering other players and are actually bothering me as well. So Conqueror's Blade is kind of like an MMO meets a MOBA meets a real-time strategy. So if you like two of those genres, I think this game you would love it. Okay, that's what happened to me. I grew up on some strategy games. One of the first games I ever played was Age of Empires 2. It was one of the first games I ever played. Definitely one of the games that got me into gaming. I believe I played the first one at my friend's house, and then when I ended up getting it, 2 was out, so I played 2. I'm a big Total War fan, and before this game, actually, I was playing Three Kingdoms. Rome 1 was my first Total War game. I've been playing that for a very long time. I played Medieval 2 a ton just because of the Lord of the Rings mods. I also play Civilization with a real life friend on the weekends sometimes. And I also play a lot of Mount and Blade. So if you know any of these games and like them, uh, this game is definitely worth a try. And on the other side of it, if you like MMOs, this might be for you. If you're looking for just a pure MMO, I would say this isn't really for you. This is kind of a mismatch of genres. And also, if you like MOBAs, this game is very MOBA-y. I've never really played a MOBA. I just never got into them. They kind of looked interesting to me. It just didn't ever get on it. But this game is very MOBA-y as well, because you have a troop, you have your hero, and then you kind of try to take the other person's base. Or it's kind of like a domination kind of style of game as well. That's just basically the genre of this game and what you can look for in this game. Next, I'm going to talk about the developers. The original developers of this game are some Chinese company. I don't really know them. I don't really expect really too many people in the West to know them. So there's not much you can say about that. I know there is the Chinese version of this game. It's different. Not sure how that's working because we're getting some of the content. But the publisher for the EU or Western side of the world is my.com. And I don't know much about my.com. A lot of people say they change games to make them pay to win. Basically, a lot of what I've seen on the internet about them has been very poor, actually. So that's something to be wary about. But some of the other games on my.com that I know, the big one would be Warframe. And everyone you talk to about Warframe says it's a really good game, especially for a free game, right? So take that information and do what you will with it. And lastly, I'm going to talk about the mismatch of genres. So it's an MMO because you have your abilities. There you have 3 of them and an ultimate. That's kind of like very basic in this sense. I was asking for weapon swap, but now that I've got into it more and played it more, I think the weapon abilities are all fine. It's a real-time strategy because basically you have a troop of say 30 to 40 men that follow you around on the map and you give them controls. Okay, so you tell them to hold. If they're archers, they'll stay there, they'll shoot. As you get higher level troops, you can tell swords to charge, with shields and swords. You could also do that with the cavalry. So basically, you have a unit that follows you around, and they're stronger than players actually once you get high level. And that's kind of the real time strategy part of the game. And the last genre that I mentioned would be MOBA, and it's a MOBA in the sense where you have a map, you do a battle on a map, you tell your troops what to do, you're your own hero, you're running around doing stuff, and you have to either capture points or, well, basically it's just capturing points as a battle. On the open world, you kind of have like more 1v1 style where you kind of just go at each other, but that's basically the game in a nutshell. The game is also free to play, which is great. The monetization in it doesn't seem too bad for now. It does have like a premium, so it's about $10 a month, and you get extra money, experience, basically extra everything you need. So I don't find this thing kind of bad. If it's a free to play game and they want to do like a monthly subscription kind of premium, I'm okay with that. They need to make their money, right? There doesn't seem to be anything that's pay to win in the cash shop. It's mostly cosmetic. I believe they actually did have something that people complained about and they actually took it out. So that's always a good sign. So that's all I can really say about the game, and I'm going to get into the bias review now. So my personal opinion about this game is very high. Like I said earlier about the genres, I really like strategy games. And if you're not new to my channel, you know I play ESO and upload videos for that. So I really enjoy MMOs as well. And honestly, if I had a rich uncle who was like, "Hey Alex, I'm gonna make a game and I want you to choose what it would be like," it would be very close to how this game actually is. I think the gameplay of it is fantastic. The balance is on the middle. Some weapons are definitely stronger than others, but every weapon has a place from what I've seen. The glaives and kind of those weapons are good at killing troops. They're okay at killing heroes. Your bow is ranged. It's good at killing heroes, not really good at killing troops. Dual blade is just pure killing people. Your longsword is OP, but it's meant to be tanky, to heal people, that kind of thing. Your short sword is for killing people, not really good at killing troops. So while there are some weapons that are stronger than others overall, uh, the game kind of does balance. Do you want to kill troops or do you want to kill people? Very well. I think the monetization in this game is pretty good. So far, really all I've seen is a premium. I'm happy to give $10 a month to a video game that I'm playing that I didn't have to pay a base price for. The open world is cool, how you have to gather resources, how you have to do quests to help your city out. These kind of things are the MMO part of it as well, and I think they do it pretty well. There could be more content, but other than that, it's going along well. The game is in early access, and even though that doesn't really mean much nowadays, this game definitely feels like it's not ready for an actual official release, and they're just kind of figuring stuff out. So the game is kind of a little bit broken, but it does feel like it's actually early release, and it's not one of those games that kind of try to pushes out a broken game quicker. That's, I guess, what kind of happened here, but they did need to test this game on a grand scale for it to work. So what I've seen so far with the updates as they came, they're actually doing better. When this game first came out, it was definitely more broken, and they do the same thing that every developer does. They break the game more, some updates, but they are fixing things. It is getting better in that sense, and that's a good thing to look forward to for this game. Also, it seems like they're taking feedback from the community, even though the English is not always the best coming from them. They are Russian developers, but they do listen. They have listened and tried to nerf things. It didn't really work, but they are trying. Some of their nerfs have been successful. The one recently was the Prefecture Pikemen. They were definitely OP. They can one-shot most things. They have been nerfed. I also believe that probably this Chinese company isn't very big. I don't think my.com is very big either, so I feel like you kind of have to go easier on them being a smaller studio. And honestly, I believe if this idea of game was done by a big Western developer, I think this game would take off. Like, I'm surprised more people don't play it as it is. If you play it just to play it, just log in, do a few battles, the game works. It's fine. Sometimes people complain about charging not working. That's just growing pains, really. But the game works. You can sign in, log on, have a good time, and that's it. Overall, I think this game is fantastic, and if given enough love, this game could be amazing. I really don't understand why more people haven't played it. It's probably because it's a smaller developer. A lot of people see free to play games and they're like, nah, right? But this game is actually fun. I'm enjoying it a ton. I love the gameplay of it, which is kind of niche, but it's kind of nice and refreshing as well. If you're playing any MMOs, like every game is basically copying WoW for the last 15 years. So this is kind of nice to have. You have that, but you also have this whole other thing where you're controlling these units and you're going, telling them to attack, helping them out, getting them to defend things. It's fun. It's new. It's kind of fun. And one last thing I want to say is this game has potential to balance the hardcore and the casual player very well, in my opinion. It's because if you want to sign in and do some battles, that's up to you. You can do that. But there's another part of the game where there's the overworld, and what happens in that overworld has consequences for your guild and yourself. That would be the more hardcore side of things. And you could do that if you want. But if you want to just sign in, log on, do 3 battles, let's say, log off. It's completely open to just do that. All right, and now for the final part of my video, other than the outro. So let's talk about this game's flaws, and there are a few. The first one is a big elephant in the room that needs to be addressed, so I'll do that first. And it's the my.com mail.ru thing. Apparently, when this game came out, it had like a Trojan like file, um, but the developers have said that it's nothing to worry about. It's now on Windows like accepted files or whatever. I don't know much about computers. I'm kind of an idiot that way. There is definitely some kind of sketchiness to this game in that sense. I do know that it takes your browsing history, and that was what all the uproar was about. So if that's something that concerns you, I would definitely not play this game. For me, I don't do much on my computer anyway. All my searching and stuff like that I usually do on my phone. So I usually just use my computer to make videos and play video games. So if that's something that concerns you, that's definitely something that you should know. People that I play the game with are maybe thinking it's using your computer to mine, like cryptocurrencies. I don't know if that's true or not. Obviously, it could very well not be. It's just an idea some people I play with have had. So there's definitely a little bit of sketchiness going on with my.com. But I will say this game does not have a Trojan that's going to ruin your computer. If you do search about this game on the internet, it's going to pop up with a lot of that. Don't listen to that. It won't destroy your computer. It doesn't have that kind of Trojan or anything like that. The sketchiness all about it basically stems from taking your browsing history. And honestly, if you use Google, they do that. You have an iPhone, it does that. So it's kind of everywhere, and it's really weird and kind of unsettling coming from a video game, but it is what it is. For me, it's worth it. I like the game. The game is very new, so yeah. If you like to play a polished game, it's perfect on release. Don't play this game until it's ready for that, I would say. It is pretty buggy. It's going to upset you at times. Some people say they just don't get, like, they'll go out, gather a resource, and they won't actually get it. Or they put something on the auction house and it sells, but they don't get the stuff back. And as far as I know, customer service for this game is pretty bad as well. So if that happens, you're out of luck for now. That's honestly all I can say about the bad sides to it. Just the my.com thing. It's a little bit of a broken game at times. So overall, I still think this game's great. I'm going to be playing it probably for 6 months, I would say, unless if they do a completely game-breaking update and don't change it. If this mismatch of genres interests you, I would definitely say at least try it. It's free. What could go wrong, right? The whole Trojan stuff is mostly overblown, so don't even worry about that stuff kind of too much. I told you what is wrong with this game and what it does, kind of. So if that's something that does bother you, I would not play the game, obviously. And that's it for the review part. So my outro is just going to be talking about my channel a little bit. If you notice, I haven't uploaded any Blade stuff, so if you were subscribing for that, probably won't play Blades anymore at all, ever. So there's that. ESO has pissed me off for probably the fifth time in my life, so I'm not playing that. I found this game. I'm really enjoying it. I'm going to be making content for it. If you want to see a video of how to level in it, I'll probably upload that tomorrow. I'm just going to upload a little beginner leveling guide and like very beginner leveling tips, and I will be continuing to make videos on this game because I really, really enjoy it. And so if that interests you, please like and subscribe, and that's it. Have a nice day.